Hey, how's it going everyone? This is YLAM here. In today's Fuji Friday, got a couple items to report, so let's go ahead and get right into it. The first one is a firmware update. The GFX100 has received its first minor firmware. It looks like they're fixing a stability problem when using external power via a USB cable. This is great because using external power is definitely very useful inside of a studio. And it looks like the other issue is a wireless problem that they're fixing when using 5 GHz for your wireless connection to either your smartphone or your tablet. And one final thing to report is that the GF 250mm lens that goes with your GFX100 or GFX50, that has a firmware update to fix some minor defects. There is no details on what defects it is, but you would definitely want to update that if you own that lens. So it looks like GFX100 owners is definitely getting a little bit of love from Fujifilms via these firmware updates, but honestly I would also like to see other firmware announcements for all of the other X series of cameras, because we are kind of low on the firmware updates this year. I know they've been working on a lot of different projects and they've been releasing a lot of new camera bodies and lenses, but one of the things that I look forward to most is getting new firmware and getting new features from all of my Fuji camera bodies. So hopefully they'll pick that up in 2020 and we start seeing more announcements for more firmware updates on other X body cameras. The next story to talk about, and it's a pretty minor story from Fuji Rumors, but the successor to the X100F, we have a name for it now. It's going to be the X100V. I don't know exactly how you go from F to V, but I have my speculations. Now, last week I talked about a patent in which there was a top screen that Fuji can actually flip backwards, making it into kind of like a mini EVF. I'm kind of wondering if the X100V might be the first one to get something. V as in viewfinder, so we'll have a LCD panel that can actually flip up, giving you display information while you're taking pictures. That might be something of interest. Again, this is pure speculation on my part, but it would be kind of fun to see some technology like that roll into some of the newer cameras like the X100V. But tell me what you think about it. Would you want an LCD panel at the top of that camera? Because I know there are some really hardcore rabid fans of this particular camera type. They just love this type of grab and go system. So if you're a big fan of the X100F, please let me know what you think and what other features you would like to see in that particular camera system. The last story that I do want to discuss, and this also comes from Fuji Rumors, which is we're seeing an increase in Chinese lens manufacturers supporting the Fujifilm's X mount, which is really great because the more option the community has, the better quality of items we're going to get, and it's also going to help lower the prices on camera lenses in general, which is something that we need. Also, if you think about it, a lot of the new Fujifilm lenses have been professional grade lenses. In other words, they are the best of the best lenses that you're going to be able to get for the X mount lenses, but it also means that they're extremely expensive. We're talking about the 200mm f2, and then we also have the 8-16 f2.8. They're really great lenses, but they're extremely expensive. So having some lens manufacturers that concentrate on the lower, more budget oriented lenses is actually a really good thing. And as far as quality is concerned, they seem to be really great on quality. The only thing that I would ding them at is that most of them are manual focus lenses, and at this date in time I'm really not interested in any lenses that are just manual focus, because I do enjoy using autofocus. It has become so good that buying a lens that's just purely manual focus doesn't really appeal to me. But you do see companies like Viltrox being able to build autofocus lenses. I'm not saying they're perfect right now, but they have made it pretty good, and they're only going to continue to get better. So I think we're going to see continued support from these Chinese manufacturers. It looks like they're doing pretty well for themselves, because every single time I turn around, it seems like there is another new manufacturing making lenses for the X mount system, which in my opinion signals that we have a very healthy and thriving community that are actually purchasing these lenses. Whether it's for quality or for price, at least we have that option, and having that option is really good. I think Fujifilms will continue to concentrate on top quality, top tier lenses for professionals, and then the Chinese manufacturers will flush out the lower end or the budget oriented lenses, but that doesn't mean the quality is going to drop off too far. I think a lot of the Chinese manufacturers at this point has kind of figured out a formula to make really sharp lenses. They're not going to be able to compete at the very top end. But for a lot of people, for example, like me, I don't need top tier lenses across the entire spectrum. There's a small segment of that spectrum where I want top tier lenses. For me, it's going to be on the ultra wide side, and I also want a few really good lenses on the telephoto side. But anything in between for like portraits and things like that, I don't really need top tier lenses. I would like to have very good lenses, but if I had the budget, I know where I want to budget. So having a full spectrum of lenses is great, but I don't need to have the top tier for every single thing that I have. Now, the only thing that they need to figure out is how to make most of these lenses autofocus, and then I would be extremely happy. Anyhow, that's all I have to talk about for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you in the next video.